Okay. Where's my sprayer? There's my sprayer. I think we're good. I think we're good. I have spray. This is good. And now tape. We have a brand new. You know what? Oh my God, that's so clean. This has no miles. We're just gonna skip tape on the sides. We'll do door covers. There's no need for. We'll use gel on the sides. Oh, this makes me feel short too. That's always fun. Let's get chat going. Or did I not? I didn't even use the picture of the car. What the heck? What the heck, dude? Okay, stainless blade. Let's change that. Go live here. Go live. I don't like this window. Go away. What if I close it? I think that's okay. Maybe. Activate. Looks like we're good. Okay. I have an f350. We're going to be doing all the sides and rear and a windshield strip on the front. Brand new, very clean, the cleanest. I mean, there's not even dirt in the bed. It's as clean as can be. So, we're gonna do 20 all the way around. I'm gonna grab this roll, and we're probably gonna stick with it the entire time. Let's roll the windows back up, because there's no sense in taping those today. Doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo. Let's turn off the air. Roll that up. Okay, there's a little dirt to wipe off. Turn off these lights. Hello. What's up? Looks good. Lights. We don't even have a da-da-dum. Da-da-dum. This works for me. that out of the way. Good morning. Let's get to cutting. 24-inch roll, C2 ceramic. Tinting 2 4Runners today. One is lifted. Oh, that's fun. I love a lifted truck with no step bars and a full windshield. Those are the best. 1.5 or 2. What? 1.5 ply or 2 ply. So mil. That's more of, it's not something you intentionally shop for. It's, my film happens to be that. There's some cheap sellers that will list 1 ply, 2 ply, and there's definitely thicknesses between films, 1 mil, 1.5, 2. And I'm sure there's stuff in between, but that's always what you see. 1.5 or 2 are going to be the most popular. It's really, my film happens to be that. So we're using a 1.5 mil film now. If I was using Apex, our top ceramic, the one or what was it? Yeah, the Apex is a 2 mil ceramic. It's 2 layers of ceramic in one, but that just like it happens to be a 2 mil. I use 1.5. 1.5 is going to just be the most common. But I like, when picking a film, I wouldn't intentionally pick this one over that one because like this one's a 2 mil and that one's a 1.5. I'm looking at a lot of other things before I would even think about that. All right, let's scooch this over. We're going to cut the other side. (15/5), nice. Pull this down. We're going to tuck pretty far down into these lower seals. Have you tried 3 mil film? Nobody's had a 3 mil film for me to try. I have used a security film for automotive that was 4 mil. It's like cutting poster board though. Super thick stuff. How long does it take to get the hang of tinting? Yeah, to get the hang of tinting. Depends on the person. It's a trade skill. It's just something you learn with time and experience. Some people just take to it quickly and just have a knack for it. Some people are very slow to learn. I've come across a lot of people that just like can't pay attention to instruction. But in general, if you like pay attention to like actually what's going on, you don't try and question everything. It's good to stay curious, but like it's when you don't know anything and then you question somebody. But I didn't feel super competent until like a full year. And even then, it's like you have your good days and your bad days, but they generally get better overall. And now it's pretty straightforward on most jobs. So but we always come across something that gives us a hard time. Audi the other day. Where can I find classes? If you search Detroit Tint Studio, classes will pop up. Or bio. Check the bio. Is thicker film easier to heat shrink? No. No, thinner film will shrink faster. There's less material. A thin dyed film, which is like the cheapest thing, is going to be one of the easiest shrinking things. There's just not much there. It's going to shrink very fast. Thicker films shrink a little bit slower. But that being said, every film has different characteristics to it. So again, like, I don't know why Chad is really hung up on thickness and ply today. But it's one of those things that's really like a non-issue. Don't worry about it. Look for a film that you like, and then whatever thickness it happens to be, you'll just find out like, oh, okay, well, that never really mattered. There's trade-offs between thicker and thinner films for installation a little bit, but in the beginning, it's just not something to even really consider. Are you putting the tint on the outside? Yes. Have people ever gotten a ticket and tried to go after you through court or anything like that? No. No, definitely not. White tint on the outside and not the inside. If you hang around, you'll find out. Where you're located? This is Detroit Tint Studio in Sterling Heights, 18 and Mound. What is up with you? Fly. I always put my tent on the inside. Tents are for the outside, my guy. You go camping in those. I'm at 17 miles. The crazy algorithm, right? Any issues with doing a Ram TRX windshield? No more issues doing a TRX versus anything else. Not that I've seen. You just gotta make sure things are covered up right. I cover the wires to the BCM as well. If you do that, you'll be fine. Cautious people are fine. It's people that are just, dude, they use a crazy amount of water. They might do it multiple times and they don't really cover stuff up. And by covering things up, don't just throw a towel on the dash and say like, oh yeah, I covered the dash. Like, tuck that shit in. Make sure you're catching water. That's the whole point. Do you do exterior cleaning too? No, just window tinting. I like to learn something new, so I've been doing it. I like to learn something new, so I've been doing it wrong this whole time. Tinting on the outside. Let me make sure this top edge is going to line up nicely. Oh yeah, that's pretty sweet. Looks good. All right, let me go get my gel. There's one, it's an f350. It's not gonna make a difference. Where's my other one? I think this one. I added a little soap to this yesterday. Just for the edges. Have you ever heard of Jelly Tech? Yes. It dries like shit. What happened here? Why does this happen? Can I pop up a YouTube video and then make sure my audio is good? Don't tell me. Yeah, just let me click on something. Okay. No, headphones are working, so that's good. There we go. Now it's working. No, I mean, OptiGlide. That's what I'm using now. OptiGlide dries cleaner. Like, you can get a ton of it. Like, I get the appeal. You can get a ton of powder for really cheap and just mix your own. Look up how to make tint gel. Sun Distributing, they make OptiGlide. They show how to make it. So if you want to just make your own, they have like a cleaner way of making it. It's just there's a lot of random gels floating around. And if you just spray it and leave it on a glass board and just like see how it dries out, I just wouldn't want anything to dry out that doesn't look clear. That's all. All right, I'm gonna get taller now. So we're gonna peel this, spray. But yeah, there's just a lot of gels floating around. And we're not quite sure what we're mixing in. So it's more like long term. we're not sure yet because everything is like brand new. So I'd probably just err on the side of caution with it. But I don't discourage anybody from making your own. I just would want to make sure that it probably dries clean, or you know what's in it. Looks nice. Ow. I just almost cut myself. Good. Why is your film not creasing on the side? It can. On tighter seals, there's generally going to be a small like fold mark that I can heat and press out, but I don't get any like hard creases. I'm not trying to bend the film in a way that it's like folding hard on the window. It's just like a light, get it flat against the window, you know? But this is an F-150. This has very loose window seals. Why do you want to do that? Why is that? That drives me crazy. We tucked really far down on that one. But I'll get close, you can see it. What is the blade called for the top part? It's a black, thin carbon blade. It's by NT Cutter. It's got some Japanese writing, and it's a BA54P. They're really nice. All right, let's check it out. Again, why does this keep, if it's connected, I don't know why we're having issues today. It's not this, it's that. What are you? Oh, I hear it now. Did I miss residue? What are you? See, that all looks good. See, there's no fold marks here. Edges are super clean. That all looks good. I wonder what this is, though. Oh, it's nothing. Oh, okay, it's gone. Cool. Looking good. Name the soap again, please. The soap I'm using is called Tint Slip. The gel that I'm using is called OptiGlide. Okay, so 20 going on the back. It's gonna be this roll here. We're gonna double cut this. I'm gonna stand on a stool, and then I'll be tall. There, now it's like a normal height. Okay, we're gonna start with a piece of film with the clear liner side facing me. Tinted side is facing the glass. And then we're gonna double cut this together. So we're gonna flip the other side. So now, this is opposite of what we just put down. So the tint side on this piece is now facing me. Cut this piece. Save the rest for the back window. We need to fuse these patterns together. You know, I bet it's because I just didn't restart my computer. If I don't restart it, and I just start streaming, who knows what doesn't work? And why doesn't? 411, does that help? Get a two-step stool. So we have a bit of excess up at the top. I'm going to start with trimming that. And then let's cut one side. The Ford trucks, most of them have like the F-150, 250s, we're on 350. This is gonna come out of the seal a little bit. So I'm gonna cut my side edge from here to here. Just pick a spot there. It's pretty gradual, so it's hard to say exactly where I wanna end that cut. But it's not gonna matter very much if we stop probably up here versus like maybe just doing that. So I'm just gonna do here. Put a little side edge, tear that away, and we're gonna shift this back over. Now, on this bottom part, this comes up, panel matches it on the inside, but does the seal do the same thing? Not really. The seal on this one comes down farther. It swoops up a little bit, but not at the same rate. So we're gonna wanna keep this, we can still trim it upwards a little bit. It doesn't have to perfectly match that seal. It's getting tucked into the seal. But trying to tuck it really far down into the seal would make it significantly more difficult. So we just need to go a little bit into that. Now we're gonna roll the window back down. We're gonna roll it down farther. That's gonna drop out our side. See how this comes out? But it only starts coming out this portion. All this still rests inside the door. So that's why your side cut doesn't matter there as much. It's more about lining that top edge. You want to get that as close as possible. So we're gonna make our cut. Start here, find that edge, and we're gonna go around the corner. Ta-da. Should be good. Now I have a big unknown, but we're gonna make it really simple because we're just doing some intersecting lines is all. Darkest tint we have, 2%. We don't need these today. Plotter is very good. Plotter is very good. I use it sometimes. We'll use it for the back window. So that's 1, that's 2 intersecting lines. Let's just fix this up, make sure that's running perfect. And we're gonna round our corner like that. This one is just a corner, so we're just gonna round that. This is gonna be confusing to some people. So this is our side edge that drops out of the seal. So we know this edge lines up perfectly with the window, and then what does it do? I don't know. But this was our side edge that we cut. So I'm just gonna find that. I'm gonna trim that all off just following that line, and I'm gonna see what we have to work with. That looks a lot simpler now, right? So if this is like our normal side edge, and this is where that top corner lines up, all you have to do is continue that curve in just a way that looks okay. And there you go. Congratulations, you cut out a complicated looking window. That's all there is to that one. So if I put this back on the window, I can test fit what I can see, but that's why it doesn't matter as much, is whatever is going down here, as long as it's not scoot over the edge, it doesn't really matter if it's short, because it's down in the window now. You would never be able to see if it's perfect or not. It's all hidden there. So we're gonna roll this back up. We gotta shrink. So we got a couple patterns here. Let's separate those. Do my truck? Yeah, schedule an appointment. Nice. Does this even work? Can I hold this here? That'd be nice. Okay, cool. Somehow would still end up on my head. One 8mm bolt is all it takes. There we go. Boop, boop, boop. But I don't need to remove the seals. It's an F-150. I could, but like, why? If you're new, I don't remove most seals. That's just personal preference, really. I learned that much earlier on. It wasn't like I had a choice. It was just like, that's just how tinting is. Oh, I forgot to curve this. Does it matter that much? Probably should a little bit. There. That's fine. A little bit. Is removing tint crazy difficult? What's the process? You're going to want to take that exact comment and type it into Google. There can be a fair amount to it because it's a bit of a pain in the ass, but videos right now will do far more to help you out than me working on this will. Do you answer the phone too? Not right now. Jack answers the phone right now. But I do sometimes. New Ram 1500, there's no extra room on the top for the back window. How do you go without a light gap? It's very difficult to cut that. You're gonna cut that on the inside. So you cut a shape that's very close that'll basically match up everywhere else, give yourself a little bit of margin. Butt it up against the top edge, cut it out on the inside, and then you can scooch it up a little bit and hide that gap completely. It is possible. It's not super easy, but it's possible. But I know those Rams are annoying. Roll this back down just a little bit. Removing tint is just a lot of labor. It can be super annoying. If you take a steamer, it might come off easily. Heat helps, so you can also look up the trash bag method if you don't have a steamer, or go buy a steamer. But if you're doing a removal, just go buy a steamer. Like there's honestly no reason not to if you're getting into removal on a back window. Doors don't matter as much though. good. Push a little bit harder. Make sure we get a good amount of water out. And make sure that it's gonna firm up in place before we go to roll it up. But with the window partially rolled down, see how this like lines up nice, but it's still kind of hard to see exactly where the edge is. That's why it doesn't matter as much. But it looks like it lines up really good. And I was waiting a second for this to make sure this is going to tack up. Do you think 20/5 is the best combo for front sides? (20/5) It's really dark. I mean, no? I don't know. Like, darkness is all personal preference, but why are you putting 20/5? Why not just get a darker film? There's more shop things that could go wrong, but tint over tint typically doesn't warranty, but like factory, yes, but aftermarket, no. Maybe I'm not clear. It's pretty robust tint. Yeah, this is C2 ceramic. See, it says it's a 1.5 mil film. I have other 1.5 mil films that I've seen that are definitely flimsier. So I think it's safe to say window films that say they're 1.5 might be a little under 1.5, might be a little over 1.5. I don't know. It's just the film is what the film is. That's why thickness doesn't matter as much. What is the darkest tint you could have without cops giving you an issue? The legal. So Michigan state law is nothing on the front doors without a doctor's note. So here, as long as you have a doctor's note, I mean, you're technically okay to go with anything as far as the window tint law part is concerned. But I'm sure something might happen if you went darker, like really dark, and you had a note. They'll probably throw some other law at you that I don't know. They'll just say, like, obstruction. Wow. I don't often see not tinted, or privacy glass is usually on the rear, and then we match the front to the rear. But now we have the exact same shade. I want to start tinting, but I feel like it would be hard. It is hard to learn. Anything that makes good money is hard to learn. I bought some shitty ass tint from Walmart a few years ago. Big fail. I've got some videos with Walmart film. Yeah, it's not that great. But like window tinters, we're all snobs about window film. I wouldn't know shit about buying paint in a Home Depot. There's probably going to be painters that are like, "Oh, don't buy that shit. What the fuck did you just put water on your walls?" You know, it goes like that with everything. Those are shrunk, ready to go. Will tint stick over tint? Yes, and it's usually okay. It's just not anything I could install with a warranty. Tint warranty is for film on glass. It's like install as intended. I've had a couple people, and it's been more so other places, but I've definitely had a few people that like, hey, my tint's in pretty good shape. I just want to go darker. Can you just layer over it? Sure, absolutely. I just can't guarantee, because one, I don't know what film is there already. So if it's really like, if something does fail, there's no way that we could realistically match it back to what it was before. You're gonna end up with it because you're taking one film from somebody, I have no idea, and then you're putting another film over that. And then same thing for here. Like even if it's my own film, it's not something I'd warranty either. Because I just don't know if I'm gonna have a repeat problem. But it wouldn't bother me to put film over film, especially because it costs so much to then do a removal on top of just getting it installed. So if it looks fine, sure, throw something over it. It's probably going to be okay. I almost forgot. I gotta scrape the bottom. Good. Pull this back down a little bit. Sorry for a beginner question. Oh, that's fine. Dude, I get asked nonstop, why am I tinting the outside of the vehicle? I use soapy water. So it's mostly water with a little bit of a soap called Tint Slip. Baby shampoo is really popular. I just don't like it as much. I used to use it all the time. But now that we have a soap that's made for this film, it's made for it. It works better. I might have to try baby shampoo again. It's been a long time. What used to happen is it didn't matter how much soap that I added, it would just stick really fast. It was driving me crazy. I'm gonna retrim this just to be extra sure. What's there? Yeah, no thank you. Ta-da. Does it have to be a specific brand? I don't have much money, so what's the difference between soaps? Just get baby shampoo then. A lot of people who like Johnson and Johnson. A dollar store one, I used that for a while. So soaps, for the most part, are not anything super special. They're just, if anything, clean. Like, so tint soaps are generally just cleaner soaps. Less surfactants, less additives. So things like color and scents. Some of them have added scents to them. But they basically, like, there's going to be a handful of extra things in like a baby shampoo that make it work better as a baby shampoo. But it's such a mild soap that it doesn't like affect the adhesives. The only things that can really affect the adhesives, as far as just soaps are concerned, are detergents. So if you're putting something aggressive that can start to degrade the adhesive faster, this is something you want to avoid. If it's safe for a baby, it's safe for vehicles. Probably. Why is ceramic better? Ceramics are the best because they have the most features. And the most features is one, heat rejection. It doesn't mean it's more optically clear. Doesn't mean it's gonna last longer. Ceramic just is an added layer to help block heat. We don't have a lot of things to, a lot of features to offer with window film. We can make things darker. We can block heat. But the quality of the film definitely matters. So you can have a ceramic film that blocks a lot of heat, but it just doesn't last a long time or is not very clear. So just like anything, you can get good versions or bad versions. But tint is tint, and I'd still argue most people are interested in just making their vehicle darker. We get a lot of people that like heat rejection. So we do get some people that wouldn't have gotten window tint that all of a sudden get a very light shade put on their car to help block some of that heat. But overall, you can still get a carbon film, a dyed film, just as long as it's a good film. This is a 20%. I have as 2%. 2% is as dark as I have. Make sure that's lined up nice and close. That looks good. Have you tried the tint? Oh, have you tried the tint changes levels when you push a button? Yes, no, not really. There's some things floating around that aren't real or just not available in any practical retail sense. PLDC or electrochromic films are a thing. They've been a thing for a very long time, but they don't fit. They don't change to anything that's still see-through. It's all got like this frosted look to it, so you can go with like a dark tinted looking frost, or you can go with a white frost. It's mainly used in very expensive homes because it's just the shit is incredibly expensive. I have seen some videos of normal looking film. It gets lighter or darker, but I haven't seen anything, a roll of film that anybody can buy or a kit that anybody can just buy. It's all like experimental prototype, very low production. I've seen a couple old videos, I've seen a couple new videos. It might happen. There's this really interesting liquid product too. Put some liquid on a piece of glass, and it's supposed to block heat in the same way that a nice ceramic film does. Looked into it. Cure time was a couple days. Bottle was very expensive, and then there's no way to remove it. So it's just, I don't know, every once in a while you come across something really interesting and it would be fun to try a little bit, but nothing practical for your everyday car. So those videos on Chilsters that are trying to sell you tints are a scam? A lot of them are, yeah. There was, though, that spree of removable window tint. Those are still floating around here and there. But it's like a pre-cut on a plexiglass or a piece of plexi. I don't want to use the word glass, just like a piece of plastic, essentially. And they're really bad. Some people were literally taking pre-cut tint kits and putting it on plexi, which is just not going to stick. The plexi is going to damage really fast. And so they had enough there to make a quick, eye-catching video, and then just scammed a bunch of people. But yeah, there just isn't any, unfortunately, there isn't anything out there. Otherwise, we'd be like on it. I'd love to install something different. All right, let's install this puppy. Let's clean it. Towel for the top edge. But yeah, a lot of people are very impulsive and don't want to either think things through or ask or whatever. They just see like, whoa! See a video, buy it. Something may or may not come in the mail, but it's definitely not going to be what you think it is. While you're cutting the bottom edge on the outside, I just didn't feel like taking it back over to the glass board. So this panel is not flat, and the seal is not flat. It curves up some, and I forgot to just trim it off over there. So I just shortened it up a little bit over here. I need me gel. Can I put tint over tint? We just talked about that. A lot of like, ooh, FedEx. Is that film? FedEx. Did you drop off some film? Yes. Nice. Probably some Astro and Apex. Some shops will do tint over tint. I'll do tint over tint, but I won't attach a warranty to it. It'll just look good, and typically it's fine. But I can't guarantee long term something won't peel, or the top layer of film that you have, I have no idea what that is. So I wouldn't mind darkening it up though. I scooted myself more than I scooted the pattern. This is better than school. This is better than school because this is like a real life, actionable, skilled trade that you can make money with. I went to school and I'm still doing this. All right, we're gonna tuck this in. Should have cut it a little shorter even, but it's fine. It's f350, it's not very tight. And as somebody pointed out, the seal removes with one screw. But that's fine, we didn't have to take it out. No, this one. I want this one first. One, two, three, four. Tri-edge card. Swipe around all the edges. Deep into the seal. Ta-da! And we're gonna check it out. It should be all set. Not tinted. Sorry, I keep saying that. Non-factory f350. I don't see them very often. Yay, looks good. I like it. Want to see how you tint from the back? It's pretty tricky. I'm going to use the machine. Otherwise, it's just annoying. So these are honestly not very tricky. You just got to go up, down a few times. And on this one, they made it as easy as possible because there's no tonneau cover on this yet. So I just have a big quarter window, essentially. So, I mean, do I just go up there, put some glass aid, cut it out, shrink it? I just don't like going up, down. Up, down, up, down, up, down. But at least it's not a slider. This one's really simple. But that means we can also cut it out on a plotter. Really simple. Looks really good. Thank you. I try. All right, let's look at the big TV. Core. I'm gonna go to Ford f350. Crew cab and chassis. What's the crew cab and chassis? How does that change things? Probably not. So we have a non-utility, solid utility truck, smaller size, solid utility truck. Oof. So this one is 13.3 tall by 57 wide, 13.7 by 57. Oh, they're so similar. That's so annoying. We'll go with the one that was cut way more. I'm guessing it's that. Roll size 24. So it's this guy right here. Really rounded corners. I hate that. Just check the measurements, but the measurements are like near identical. It's kind of hard to do. That comes out. Pull this. There we go. That's what I want. But I got a lot of space. The headliner is just the only goofy thing. They probably just took the same window, changed the headliner, and then just went, yeah, that'll work. There we go. Let's get a towel and some film. It's the utility one. Thank you. It's a safe bet. I just don't know what the non-utility, just a standard F350. Not one that looks like a fucking spaceship. Look at this thing's crazy. Okay, we got our pattern, 24-inch roll. Settings are supposedly correct. Click cut. curl, 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 curl. There we go. Was that my warning? That was my battery warning. Yes. I forgot about that. That's why we got a reminder. Ooh, almost perfect. Oh, perfect enough. That'll work. Thought it was gonna snag along that bottom edge. Sweet. What do you have your force and speed at? I'm trying to set my FC 9000. So the blade, speed is set to 30, force is set to 15. I don't know if you can see this. I'm gonna get this as close as I can. A little bit lower. The blade is hardly sticking out. That's one of the most important things. So you can see the blade poking out over the top. I would start with probably like your force at 13 or 14 and make a cut with a quarter window. And just leave the blade poke out a little bit. Remember, this has to be over, so this bracket has to be on top of the blade holder. Just make sure it's set up like that. One extra thing that I did too is I stopped cutting on my cut strip a while ago. I take like people call this Teflon tape. This is a PTFE film tape. It doesn't have the fabric in it. It's just literally like a film tape. There's a few other things that you could use. You just want a nice smooth tape. I do 2 layers of that right now, just because it's not very thick. But you want like a sacrificial surface over your brand new perfect cut strip. So you're gonna make some oopsies, it's gonna rip through the film, you're gonna forget to change settings for another film or whatever, like something's gonna happen and you're gonna mar into that cut strip. It's really bad for window tinting. Replacing that, it just has to be like super even. So I put effectively like a screen protector over my cut strip that I cut on top of in case there's any mistakes. And then when we inevitably make a mistake, rip the tape off, put 2 layers down again, and then we're good. You can comment on my post about cutting strip tape. I bought plumber's tape by accident. People are using like Gorilla Tape. That worked fine. There's probably a lot, like painter's tape. There's a lot of tapes that can work fine. You just want to make sure that whatever you're cutting on also removes clean. Gorilla Tape does not remove clean. Just a nice smooth tape that you can peel off. The cut strip, the actual like Graphtec cut strip is kind of expensive, and then to me it's more about trying to install it so it's perfect. It just has to be raised a little bit to be imperfect in somewhere, and then you're gonna have it cutting through too much, and then it's gonna start snagging in another place. It's just gonna be a mess. What force and speed would you recommend for a Workhorse 1? I had a Workhorse 1. I cut GeoShield C2 on it. They're all a little bit different, so keep that in mind. I typically had the speed around 350, 400, and then pressure was somewhere around 55 for C2 carbon, and then I would bump it up to, no, I think it was like 61. It was anywhere between like 55 and 61 most of the time. And then I would bump it up to 70, 71 or 72 when I was doing a 2 mil. So I'd throw in like Pro Nano at the time. I don't know where Graphtec gets their numbers versus those other machines. These don't need shrink. No, not really. I still do. It's more of a rather be safe. We're gonna start this again. So, like shrinking that back window, I just did a little snap on it. It took less than a minute. I just want to avoid a finger popping up as much as possible. So I typically shrink everything a little bit. Oh, now I think my chat is starting to work. All right, make sure that's scraped off. Oh, that was the follow-up to that one. Somebody has 5 and they feel like it's not dark enough and they want to put tint over tint. There's some people that just go super dark and then they get used to it and they're like, ah, it's just not dark enough. In that case, just get a layer, put it over it, especially since it's just front 2 doors or whatever. The worst that could happen is something peels and then you just redo them again. But some shops have darker shades now. All right, now we're gonna get Tint Slip is so much nicer than baby shampoo. I just bought a gallon. Oh, appreciate that. Glad you like it. I'm getting like really old comments finally popping back up again. If that person's still here, what do you like about Tint Slip versus baby shampoo? Does it slide better? clean up better. Just like genuinely curious. Oops. Sorry. Oh no, fuck. I forgot about my battery. And I'm carrying it backward out. But you guys can still hear me, right? Shit. That's annoying. What a time to die. Hang on, bear with me. I even said, remember my warning? My battery warning? It turns out that's really important. Best ASMR. Full of, oh shit. Oh gee, Rick. Now I gotta connect to the app. Unless it lets me continue. Hang on. Settings. Continue last live stream. Last live stream expired. Oh, fuck you. That's not helpful. What's the point of having a continue last stream session if you're not going to continue it? RTMP. Connecting. I swear this is going to be back up in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh shit, I got it. To the second. All right, cool. It's good because I still have bubbles to squeegee. What the shit is that? Is that glue? Did I miss something? Fuck you. What we're gonna do. Get grip on it first. That's what it is. Yeah. I scraped it. But I missed this little guy. Like a little string. A little string there. So that's going to be here. Let's go for broke. Let's find out. Ooh, that's nice. Look at that. Look at that gel. Gel saving the day. Whew. That's nice. Oh. Thoughts on tinting boats? Your average boat is not fun. This is advice that I'll give and not, well, maybe. I don't know. Depends on the We have a company across the street that I never thought to call before. But they called me looking for some film. But they needed XPEL. I don't have XPEL. And they said they needed it for a boat. They were matching something that was already there. And so, yeah, you need the original. But they called me and mentioned boat, and I was like, oh, do you guys like remove boat windows too? They're like, yeah, we absolutely can. It's like, so if I pull in a boat, can you guys like pop on over and remove it for me, and then I can tint it outside of the boat? And they said yes. I was like, sweet. So I might do a boat, but next time I do a boat, it'll be on the outside. A lot of them are just, a lot of the cheaper boats are a pain in the butt. They have gasket fit seals, and they suck. Removing them is one thing. Then you have to reinstall them. I had one in here that I tried to do myself. I had one boat that I tinted on stream. I had another one that I was just trying to tint later on, and it just wasn't happening. Too many things can get in the way. So on most of them, like it's definitely possible to do them installed. Pain in the butt. Charge accordingly, but it's better if it's the gasket fit style boat windshields to just remove those. But I don't know. I've heard they're not necessarily fun putting back together, so I just don't have that experience with it. But if somebody ever calls here again and asks about a boat, I'm more inclined to maybe try it. I probably shouldn't, but... All right, so now we're locked out. Shit. Boat stream. There was a boat stream years ago. It's an old stream, but it checks out.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Got a heavy pallet for you.
Ah.
Yeah, it's fun time. Just take me a few minutes to get it down.
Okay. Oh, do you have a lift gate?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're the best.
I know that
This floor's funny. If you can get it right up to here, we can use ours to bring it in.
Gotcha.
So, thank you. Sweet. So he's got a lift gate, so he's just gonna wheel it up. Yeah. Yeah, we'll use that when he brings it there. So, thankfully we don't have to lug that all the way out there though. I just tried tinting a boat last week, but I told the guy straight up I couldn't do it. He's a buddy of mine. Business is still good, but I will never do it again. I can very closely relate to that. I had a boat in this very spot, sitting here for 3 days. I had some time set aside for it. But this is like earlier in this shop. And we're not that far away from the water. There's not that many people that tint boats. I was thinking of pushing it. And then that happened, and I'm like, no, I don't want to do boats. But then I'd get a bunch of calls too from people like at marinas. Like, hey, I got a boat, can you come out and do it? I don't want to go anywhere. This might be Insta-Gel. Wait. That's the, yeah.
I try to be helpful for you, but I understood why you said don't do that.
Yeah.
So right out here is fine?
Yeah, just right by, like if you leave it, so we can just put forks under it from inside, we can actually kind of scooch
Tell me
it.
when to stop then.
Okay. Try and, just that little front. Wait. Back up just a little bit. Okay, now bring it forward. All right. If you can go a little bit more forward, that's fine.
Get a little bit of an effort here then.
Oh, Jack, can you? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, see, it's gonna do that.
Yeah.
Back it
Go
up
back.
more.
Yep, that's fine. Just leave it here.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Sometimes my helpfulness is actually a hindrance.
I appreciate the effort.
Anywhere down the bottom right, right here. And I'll take a quick picture and be out of your way.
Yeah, what happened here? Did you put something on it?
You can write up whatever you want to write up there, sir. Put box open, someone stole something, whatever you want.
Yeah, let me see.
This is the way I found it on my truck. I never fight with anybody about claims, though.
I think they're.
Oh,
Yeah, one of
That's
them
not
popped
great.
open.
let's write that up. Here, let me see that paperwork. I'll write that.
Okay.
What is it? 2 gallon? Or 1 gallon?
One.
1 gallon? Okay.
They're 1 gallon jugs.
1 gallon. Open. Leaking.
Yeah, and some of them end up getting crushed. It's not something we're completely unfamiliar with here,
I
but
still want to get you covered, you know? Actually, how many you want to write up? 6, just in case?
yeah, that's fine. Because some of them are going to be like this.
Yeah, I'll do that. Give you guys a little bit of wiggle room.
Okay.
So 6 gallons, open, leaking.
Hang on 1 second.
Yeah, you might take damaged.
All right.
Six, 1 gallon, open, crushed, leaking.
Yep.
Pretty descriptive.
That works.
All right. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
You're welcome, there, sir. And let me get a quick picture of it so I can see.
Oh, let me grab my phone too.
All right, you guys have a good weekend.
All right, you too. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Just in case it's really bad. I said just in case. I just took pictures of it too, just in case it's really bad. The way that it's slumping, there's probably a few more in that lower area.
So obviously, the Kawasaki can't clear the race deck.
No, none of them can. It just starts pushing up the wheels. So like, what we've been able to do is we can put forks under it some and then start scooting it onto it, and then it just, then as long as the floor is flat, then we can drag it in here.
You want it under scaffolding?
Yeah, that's probably where it'll end up going. It's the pros and cons of race deck. It's not very palate friendly. So, as long as we can. All right, let's see. Biggest thing is scooting it, but I don't know if that's gonna give us enough to do that. Probably not. Yeah, it's not really gonna happen. Oh, you know what? This is what we do. Here, I can pick it up. And then we can scoot it back until the wheels get close. Push. And then stop. I'm gonna lower it. I'm gonna cross my fingers. There. There we go. Now I can pull it. All right. What's that hanging up on now? Oh, really? Oh, you fucker. Go this way just a little bit. Three, two, one. There. Now we're gonna lower it. All right, cool. We'll lower it back down. Cool. We can shut the garage for now. We'll get it over here. It's gonna take a little bit of finessing. Just with the way that the floor moves. That's always fun. All right, I need to get a windshield strip. Windshield. What are my options? Yeah, this floor isn't made for that. So we're gonna go with option 2. Add. Go to cut board. And then switch this to a 36-inch roll. Cut down. Typically somewhere right around here. Go 1, 2 inches up, bring this down here, cut, oops, and then we have a windshield strip. Make it a little bit wider, and then we should be good. Windshield strips are a little goofy. I think they look nice when they curve. Just a little bit up with the windshield, so make it look a little straighter. That's what it needs to do. I'm just gonna bump this. Ooh. I don't like what that just did. But we can make it a little bit longer. Yeah, I don't know why that screws it up. Don't apply. Apply. Oh, this is a 24. I set that up for a 36. Well, at least he had a lift gate. He even put the truck close. That's always helpful. We're at the stage where we need to get a motorized forklift. But we don't get pallets every day. So it's one of those things that we just like, we deal with when we get them. It's just, you know, that in-between stage. Should have picked one up earlier though. But race deck is not a smart option when you have forklifts. Okay, so I'm just gonna cut it like this. And I could angle these to fit just a little bit better, but that end is gonna line up really close. You'll see with the start and stop points. So instead of putting a start point or stop point maybe like in the middle, I put it intentionally like right at the very edge corner of it. How much Insta-Gel does one need? So it's gonna start cutting right there on the end. Yeah. That's better. That way that end is also nice and smooth. That was the main thing. Yep. Perfect. How much up? Yeah, we order it by the pallet. It's not because we're a tool distributor. But it could come packed a little bit nicer. We just get some shipments here and there that are like, pallets are fucking falling apart. It's been on a pallet since like, that comes from Texas. That one was in somewhat rough shape. Not the worst that I've seen. We've had some really bad ones. But they just put shit on like completely broken pallets. And then it gets here and it's like, yep, it didn't get here very nicely. And what? That's crazy. Oh my God. What software do you use? I use Core. They have windshield strip patterns, but I like taking the windshield and then cutting the curve to be a little less like drastic. Still want it to be helpful, but we don't want it to, I don't know, I just like to take a little bit of the bow out of it. So let's see what we got. I made it a touch wider too, because if anything, they always like, they don't quite line up on the sides. I think this is pretty good. We're not all the way to the end of the tab, but you can see it just comes down a little bit far, and then keeping that curve just a little bit up. It's not like perfect, but I didn't want it to like do that crazy bow. Just a little bit's fine. I think this is pretty nice. We should be good with this. Yeah, looks good. Make the beeping stop. Boop, 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 boop. There you go. I'm so used to them being a push button. Thought it was just because the door's open. Next service, 5,000 miles. How many miles does this thing have? Like 0? Ooh, yeah, that's nice. Have you ever considered doing wraps? Yeah, of course. I don't want to, though. There's always like a ton of stuff we can do with a nice space. It's just for every extra thing that you do, it takes away time. Another one after this one? No. No, this is all I'm doing for today. As far as tinting goes, I got other stuff to do. But not vinyl wrapping stuff. Let us see. Okay. Are we too wide? Ooh, no, we are not. We're pretty spot on. I'm glad I made that wider. I've made a few windshield strips for F-150s. But I forgot about, I don't know. I don't know if F350s. Figured they'd be pretty similar, if not the same. Looks the same. But you never know. So you get that shit on there, find out. Let's get this to the bleeding edge. Looks good. I like it. Tinted at 26, f350 Roush and DigiCut did not have the pattern for the windshield strip. They had 5 options and neither of them matched up. So I don't remember. I don't remember if it was core or not. I've done windshield strips and core hasn't fit either. Some of them will work and some of them look like they'll work, but for whatever reason, I don't know why, they're just short. So for this one and the few previous that I've done with other cars, whenever anybody asks me about a windshield strip right now, I take a full windshield and then I use the cut down tool and I make my own windshield strip for it. But even on this one, I made it a little bit wider and it fits nice. If I didn't make it wider, I don't think it would have fit. It's kind of annoying. But I don't like software for their windshields. I cut a handful out. They don't line up super well. I just did like a Jeep Wrangler the other day. It was too wide. And I will still say Core has really good patterns. I just don't use any software for windshield patterns. Apparently they have a problem getting their correct pattern since it's new. With windshields, there's a ton of variety, and it's hard to know. It's hard to know like what's gonna fit and what's not gonna fit. Like not from looking at your software. But from like similar looking windshields. Like there just might be a SKU that has the exact same shape and it's an OEM windshield and for whatever reason it was just manufactured in a different factory or it's just a little different. I don't know. When are you posting more YouTube videos? Does this count? This should count. I know this doesn't count the same way that a regular YouTube video does. I have no idea. I have YouTube videos that have done really well. YouTube has changed a lot. And it's just the time. The time to put in a video is not necessarily worth... Like, they can be fun to make. I just don't have time. I spread myself too thin with too many other, like... stuff. So I pretty much pick between doing live streams regularly, which I feel are more helpful if you're just trying to learn, because there's a lot of tutorial videos that I've already posted and other people have posted with like a nice detailed breakdown of how to do something. And window tinting doesn't really change all that much. So there's always new products, new vehicles, and that kind of stuff. And so I just do a full live stream of whatever I get in here. But the making a fun video for the sake of making a fun video, it's hard to do now. Learned a lot from your videos. Just wondering. Thank you. Might be able to do something while I'm doing a live stream, but it's essentially going to be the same thing, just shorter. We need another AI drive-through video. The Wendy's one. I should have doubled down on keeping a back catalog of those, because I think they discontinued Sora. There's probably another service that I could use. I made that one on Sora. That was ridiculous. Is there a difference in sprays? Yeah, the bottle. This one's alcohol right now, but the other bottle is OptiGlide. That's a gel. That helps keep dirt specks and stuff from rinsing back into where I just squeegeed. And it also helps push stuff back outward. Gel's been incredibly helpful. So quarter windows, full windshields, doors, like you can use it everywhere. You don't need to coat the entire window with it. That looks good. You definitely don't need to coat the entire window with it. Just spray it where it really matters. Is alcohol better to clean the windshield with at the end? I'm always looking for something better. The two glass cleaners that I like are Sprayway and Invisible Glass. But I've just noticed, like, if it dries really quickly, it typically does a really good job of cleaning the glass. So alcohol is not always the greatest, but it was there when I picked it up, and it generally does a really good job of cleaning the window. So I don't know. I go back and forth on stuff. I haven't really shopped around like premium glass cleaner from detailing brands. So I might get around to just ordering a bunch of bottles. But I pretty much grab either Sprayway or a bottle of alcohol sitting nearby. Invisible Glass and Sprayway are the same product made by the same company. They're definitely not the same product though. They might be made by the same company. Invisible Glass is like it's an alcohol based. You can smell it. I don't think Sprayway is the same stuff at all. They definitely don't act the same. I can never get the windshield perfectly clean. It's always streaky no matter what. I feel the same. There's things that I'll try and I do, and having what works best for me so far is having like a wet side, a dry side, and then sometimes just like cleaning it and then doing what I'm doing now, coming back over it with something that is just like nice and clean and slidey. And we'll do a good job of just like trying to wipe the whatever little streaks remain off of it. And then you look at it in the right light and you're like, fuck. Ooh, almost fell. How did that transition eBay tint hold up? I left it on for a month. It was just quirky. Yeah, like I still got a few right here. It was just really quirky. So on a hot day, leaving it out in the parking lot, it would fade to clear. And then when it cooled back down, the color would come back. The transition worked perfectly fine. I didn't have any issues with the transition other than it changed really fast and it wasn't as cool as what you would think. So close the door, you're driving on the road, sun is shining, casting a big shadow from the mirror onto the door, and then that shadow is doing this. It's like moving around, right? So wherever the sun is not directly hitting is clear. So you get little shadows from everything. You get little shadows from the moldings, from trees, from things that block the sun. And then as soon as you turn a corner, whatever was facing the sun fades clear and the other side starts darkening up. So everything is just constantly switching on you. And it's just goofy. Where's my sprayway? Let me try my sprayway. Oh, I bet it's all the way over there. Do you tint headlights? No. Don't do headlights, don't do taillights. It's vinyl wrapping. It's not the same stuff. Then you get weird things like this, which a vinyl wrapper will look at and go like, oh, it's easy. But I don't vinyl wrap. So if you do vinyl wrap, you do taillights and headlights. If you don't, you can still definitely learn how to do it. It's just a very different skill from just tinting the windows. Some glass is sticky too. I don't really get it. All right. That's going to wrap it up for today. Thank you for hanging out. Inmo Tint, the second film, touched it, then it would stick like crazy. Have you tried Alibaba Chameleon? I heard it's the exact same company, like Luminous or Omnique. I would guess that's correct. I don't know for sure, but I'm surprised it works so well for them. I mean, nobody's really selling it, so makes sense. Over from China, like, you just have such a wide range of qualities. And we get, like, there's just a ton of shit that we use every day that comes from there. So many big companies get everything manufactured over there. They're great at manufacturing. But they also will keep budgets way down and peddle a bunch of shit and still say it's awesome. So in the world of window film, it's hard to know what is awesome and what's gonna fail. So I don't see any other manufacturers making Chameleon, so it makes sense to me that it's all from China. And then how long it will last, I've seen a lot of mixed results from people that have gotten film from there. The one that seems to hold up more, it wasn't without issues. Who are they? Oh, I'm trying to remember. I can think of the brand. I'm trying to remember what it was called. I haven't even done a Google search of Chameleon film in a while. Ultravision. I was gonna say Ultrafit, but I knew that was not right. Ultravision. This was like the only one. I had a customer come in. We installed it. They had an issue with the adhesive. He had to reorder it again for like the third time. And he got a different shade. I think they refunded him what he paid, but he, still paid labor. He had a car somewhat like that. It was an Acura, and he got he wanted like a 15% or like a darker purple windshield. And the darker one, I don't know, using just regular soaps and tinting it, the whole thing looked terrible. It looked incredibly smeary. There's a issue with the glue. But he got a lighter shade. We tinted it again, and it was fine. And I guess it lasted for at least 2 years. So I just don't know. When you have stuff that is just not very well supported, so like Chameleon films are definitely somewhat of a thing, but they're not near as popular as just a black window film. There's too many people that are worried about getting pulled over and getting tickets for it and stuff. It's just like an eye magnet for pull me over. It's not going to be legal pretty much anywhere. So this is just way more common, way more supported, way more major manufacturers that make this stuff. So you get into Chameleon, and you get a lot of variants. So you could just have like a ton of different colors. It's hard to, along with a bunch of different shades. It's a really difficult thing. I want a tour of your shop. We'll do one again. We can do one again soon. I gotta get going though today. Thank you all for hanging out. I appreciate you. Why were we restricted again? Why did it say that? Bye.